Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Left. 21.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Black, come on. Here,
Throwing is Wentz. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Duke Riley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Great 15. Great 15. Run. Switch. Here, Watch out.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Red Coast.
That's correct. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan.
Well, not long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's fourth. Fourth down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. So a field goal try here on fourth down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
Great. Sit. Run.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Hang in there now. Hey. 81. Gold. Here, sit. 81. Hey, ram.
Here's Sproles. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Lion. Here, sit.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Great. Here, sit. Run.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A gain of 6 there on first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that? And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, past the 20, and at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, but the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Hey, Tuesday, go!
Ryan will throw again. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. Dan Quinn's told his offense, let's try and get 2 more.
Ready! 11, 21, 11. Gun.
Again, Ryan. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Wentz now on first down. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 23 yards on the play.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Into the red zone, Wentz. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Black. Shorty.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz, eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And here now come the Falcons. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And the tackle there by Chris Long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Go! Hey, stop!
From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons are an extra point away from having the lead. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
81.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw, it's Wentz. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Room to run past midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers.
Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
Check 83, ball going to 83. Spin it. Loose 5-7, loose 5-7. 82, 82.
On second down, here's Wentz. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you.
Come on. Great. 81, 81.
Back to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. And Elliott puts this one through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. He'll look to throw. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get to the...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Michael Bannon in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. He's back to throw. Pushing his way through. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Sunday.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. This is Ajayi. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. One last shot for Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.
Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me?